Live. And we're live. Grand Rising, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. We got the nation in the house. Mind Games Uncut. Go follow him on
Peace.
YouTube. We got Queen Angie, Clear as Conscious. Follow her on
Grand
YouTube
Rising.
and Facebook. We got Black Love 17. Follow her on YouTube.
Hey.
And we have Kathy B in the house. Follow her on YouTube.
Hey.
So we're gonna start off with this Marvin Sapp stuff. I heard Marvin Sapp out here running the church like it's Death Row Records. Here we go.
Wait a minute, hold on. This ain't working. $1. What's this? $1. No, we tried to do it the Lord's way. Now we're gonna do it the good old 125th Street 7th Avenue way. Give us the money now. Praise the Lord.
You wanted heaven, now reach for it.
Give me them outdoor shoes. Give it up. Give it up. I want shoes.
Now you're giving, brothers. You're giving now.
Or judgment.
Greetings, Earthlings.
Warning, the following program contains strong Black first opinion about mature and strong subject matter that affects Black America and the diaspora as a whole. Listen at your own risk, you sissies.
Grand Rising all. You are listening to the one and only Be One or None. Good morning from Africatown, Los Angeles.
Y'all heard what the church said. Give it up.
That was funny as hell. I was like, we get an intro out there. That's dope. I like that. You put that together?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. I remember that episode.
My son said that to us. I didn't see the part where they put the money in.
Jim Carrey too, you know. Jim Carrey was the white guy playing Jimmy Swagger.
Yeah, Jim Carrey been rocking for a long time. But yeah, like they've been saying it for a long time ago that hey, give it up, you know, and making it examples. But look, we're gonna really play what happened with Marvin Sapp, and you know, like we say, is he running the church like Death Row Records? And then you know he made a statement after this. So this is what they said went on.
There's 1,000 of you.
Hold on, pause it real quick, Queen. Pause it real quick.
What's the matter?
Pause it. You see what y'all watch his hands. Cause I know he's a gospel Christian man, but watch his hands. I don't want to be vulgar, but his hand, his body language said, "Close them motherfucking doors." Y'all watch
he didn't say that, Queen. You just want
to his body. I'm just saying, watch his body. Watch his hand. His body language said, "Close them motherfucking doors." Keep playing it. Go ahead. I just want y'all watch that non-verbal. Go ahead.
Watch the body language, y'all.
Play it.
There's 1,000 of you. You give $20. This is easy, saints. And they understand the cost.
You thought he was Dr. Umar?
I tell him I got your $20 hanging low.
But my thing is, this is what we mean by the Black church rages billions of dollars. We raising trillions of dollars in our black church. In the black church, I'm sorry. We raising trillions of dollars in the black church. What has it done for the black community?
I'm going to throw something in real quick. I think it's in Chicago. There is a man who was a church owner who bought this liquor store, but they're going to turn it into a grocery store. So some churches are paying attention and buying up the block like they're supposed to. Some churches.
And I agree with that. I think there are a lot of churches that are doing the work in the community. It's just not seen like that. But there's too many churches. Like in Indiana, like I can go like every block, there's 2, 3, 4 churches on one block. But like you have liquor stores, everybody broke, you have homeless people. So
and not even talking about that, all these unaliving of our people, all these black kids killing each other, and then all that GoFundMe money pours right back into the church because that's where the funeral go to. The churches are getting rich off of death too, and they even if they don't realize it, they're in the t-shirt companies. You either got the t-shirt and the printing companies and the churches with the funerals. Like all this money that's poured into the church. And it's okay if you're bold, but why can't you be that bold to say, hey, I need everybody. And then he told them that's in the choir, y'all had to pay to be up here. You know, the position up here, I need 100 from each one of y'all. Why are we not that bold to buy the gas stations? Because I notice I'm in my small hometown and every gas station I go in is a Indian, Arabian, somebody that's not American, but they on every gas Arab. They're in every neighborhood. Is that how it is in y'all town? Besides Atlanta, I know that Atlanta stands out because it's the black Mecca. But what about everybody else? Do you see majority of gas stations owned by everybody, but black people or but Americans? Let's say Americans. So how
I see it in the liquor stores.
Yeah, how come the church can't? But in the hotels, how come the church cannot raise money to say, hey, we're going to buy this gas station and employ somebody, or hey, we're going to build this school? I don't mind the way that he raised money, but what are you using the money for? It's my
exactly. What's it for? How you going to try to strong arm somebody? And
yes, I'm getting ready to play it. He never said, but let me play this.
Number one, that offering was taken last year. This was a service that happened last August. Number two, it didn't happen at my local church. It actually happened at a national organization's international meeting where churches from all over the country, all over the world came together for the purpose of celebrating the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. People took issue with me saying, shut the doors. Understand, I never said lock the doors. Yeah. I said shut the doors. Shutting doors mean that people still have the ability to go in and out. They've taken issue with my tone. And I can honestly say, looking at the video, maybe I was a little more assertive than I should have been. And I can apologize for that. I could apologize. The $40,000, if it was $40,000 that was raised, was never given to me. That money was raised for the purpose of taking care of the budget for their conference, not Marvin Sapp.
Yeah, but in that budget, you
got somebody to pay for your budget. Like you miss budget. Somebody's got to pay for your stuff.
Yeah, you had to pay to be there. These pastors are driving planes, so the budget. What's in the budget? Because the members don't get paid. And
can you play? Did you see the video before that, like where the pastor was talking? Because the pastor was talking real. I'm gonna find it real quick for y'all because the pastor before him. Because if y'all watch it, Marvin Sapp was like, I'm not like Bishop so and so. Bishop so and so was telling you, like he was really running game. Like if you want closure in your life, if you want blessings, he was selling blessings from $500 to $800 a piece. Like so. As a Christian, what kind of relationship do you have with your creator, your God? You buying $500 blessings and you got here on the bus, on a transfer?
Grand Rising chat.
To listen to somebody that has a $10,000 watch on their wrist telling you to give $20? But your lights are out, though. and you waiting for God to make a miracle.
We claiming that groceries is high, but you can ask $20 for hope, and yet you complain about $10 eggs. I mean, you know, it's just not going together, because we have to hold the churches accountable for what they're doing in our communities, because the church has took a stand to be our leaders. And where we go, somehow we have convinced ourselves that God told the church to collect man-made money, and that God told the church to stand in the gap for him to give out blessings. And we don't want to admit the truth. But if we don't admit the truth, we're going to continue to sink. And then
I hear how crazy that sounds.
Yes, I see Ronald saying that the church can't do nothing. They're 501c3 and they can't play. Yes, they can. They can build schools. They can build affordable daycares. They can build stores. The church, the church is still a business. The only thing with a 501c3
and write it off.
You write off your taxes, because
and write it up.
You can use that money to pay the salary of the pastor. You could use that money to pay the salary of the. You could have kids. You can open up a Family Dollar. You can open up a franchise. There's a lot that the church can do, but because the church has been told, well, you don't mix church and state, but yet every time a politician wants to be elected, the first thing they do is say that they're a Christian and stand in front of the church, or they get the Christians to push everybody else to vote. And we don't see the game. It don't matter what church or what religion. You could be Seventh-day Adventist, you could be Baptist, you could be Jehovah Witness. We at the end of the day, we don't live in the church. We go home and live in this society called America.
Facts.
But the Bible says, if you look at it like clearly, like it says, like we are the church. If we are the church,
I thought that they supposed to get like. That's what I'm saying. I thought they supposed to get their riches in heaven. Ain't you waiting for your crown of jewels? But you out here driving a Rolls Royce, and most of the members can't even, like Angie said, pay their light bill, or we're complaining about food. And then how come all these blessings that come from the church, how come everybody is still suffering and complaining? If the church is the answer to all, how come you can't pray an education? How come we can't pray our way into equality?
Black church has been corrupt since King got murdered, and Jesse Jackson, all of them got selected and started their churches and stuff. It just wasn't no mega churches back then. It gradually, slowly came up to be mega church. But Jesse Jackson and all them corrupt black people that was with MLK, because all of them were pastors. Remember, it started then. Nobody want to talk about that though. You know what I'm saying? They just wasn't building them mega churches back then. But it was corrupt, just like these cats are now.
Exactly.
I said what I said.
Hold on. I'm gonna yeah, I mean it is. And so hold on.
Ronald said those. You can post. Ronald just said something. Oh, I just sent the link to this group. Boy, they black hardcore liberals. I hope they come on up in here, because they got Jasmine Crockett all over the damn page.
Yeah, you know what, y'all look at
Obama, like, I don't talking about her, but I'm just saying, when we get to the part about Obama, they're gonna be like, they're gonna try to defend it. But
I'm looking at Ronald. He said his pastor. He said those pastors live everywhere. My friend's mother was a pastor, and she had $100K worth of furniture. Yes, I know pastors, and then they family benefit. It's like they keep to be a pastor in the black neighborhood is to be successful, and that's how you can get quick generational wealth, because you have people that feel like that pastor and that church is their doorway through God, and that's it. They don't feel like they have enough faith in themselves, and I still don't understand why people think that God would make another human being over you. We can sit around and share like our ancestors used to do. When you circle, you might be going through one day and need my strength, and I might need yours, but I don't understand how you pick up a book by interpreted by the same people who you claim that enslaved you and their ancestors enslaved us, and then turn around and say that God told them to do it, and then you put your faith in this person that stands in front of you like they're better than you in the spirit. You could, let
me tell you something. If God sent a message to somebody else for me, then I have to question my relationship with my creator, not your little God in the Bible, my creator. So like, I don't have a main line. Like I'm slow, I'm retarded, I'm dumb. Like God can talk to me like he can talk to you. I don't need God to send you to tell me unless I'm out of line. That's a problem with us. Like, tell me what this $40,000 is for, because you hired all these comedians, all these entertainers, and all this stuff to come in here. You want 10%. You want 10% of my gross income, and offering, and a building fund, and a pastor's fund.
And not just that, and your time. Because it takes time to be there on church every Sunday and everything. And then your time and your effort. And then God forbid you join the choir or you the Sunday school teacher. So you're giving your time. And, we don't look at all of that. And if all this time is going to be given and you're going to teach Bible study and you give your time, why don't people give their time to educate the young boys in the neighborhood? And that's what the church on every corner, and our people are still unaliving each other. There's no hope in the streets because nobody really sees any difference. We got 100 churches and people are still saying, well, it's because they didn't put church in the schools. They took God out the schools. With the God being in the school, there's a church on every corner.
Exactly.
Facts. And let's talk about your boy Jamal Bryant. He in Atlanta. He took over Eddie Long's New Birth. This guy, his girlfriend walking around with a BBL, and he one was capable.
His wife.
His wife. His wife now, okay. He cheated on his first wife.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this dude, he's a joke, and he's trying to be some kind of activist, but yeah, she walking around with a BBL. I'm like, yeah, man, he's a joke.
Okay, so
yeah.
Again, that is on us. That is on the Black community. We allow that. I watched that nonsense when he proposed to her. Like, yeah, she got a BBL. She also has a master's degree, I believe. She's highly intelligible, right? BBL, whatever. But like you said, like you done ran through women. One of your wives is on the Real Housewives or Basketball Wives or whatever. That's the first. This is your church. But everybody's amen. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Like everybody wants to amen and high five and shit. There's no accountability.
Oh yeah, no accountability.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. World Country City Girl said that said he raised it for
what's the Bible say about you having multiple wives? Let's do that.
Angie.
Hold on, Angie. Yeah, he did raise it for the organization, but he said he raised it for the budget for that night at the organization. What's in the budget? First, the budget, and I've been in church. I used to help the church. I was a deaconess. I used to take the van. I used to do everything I could. The budget involves the budget involves paying the guest pastor, which that did go to some money did go to him because he was there. They're not doing stuff for free. If you need one of these high profile pastors to come to you, believe me, you're going to pay. If somebody dies in their community and they need to hold a funeral, believe me, they're going to pay their church for their funeral. Nothing is free, but God is supposed to be free.
Exactly. They said, fill that bucket up. I went to a church one time in Atlanta. They had their offering bucket going 3 times.
Like, have to look at the
churches are kicking people out the door if they don't pay their tithes and stuff. They want to know how much you are. You got to fill out. Some churches are making credit reports. I mean, credit applications.
New Birth
and then they want to know how much you're making. And then if you don't pay your tithes, they're kicking you out the church. And y'all believe that is of God?
Yeah, New Birth did it. Creflo used to do it.
I swear to God, that's real. That shit's real for real.
Mm-hmm. Like, remember the old black lady? She got a letter that they kicked her out of church because she hadn't paid her tithes. When did everybody start stepping into what God wants to know? And I still don't get how anybody believes that God gave man his word and never said nothing ever since. God just wrote this book and just disappeared on the world.
Exactly. That's why I've been so long, but
yeah. So we're gonna move on to. And I know everybody's saying this Obama's book. No, his name is Jonathan Allen.
Yeah, John
he wrote
Allen,
a book called Fight. And he says Obama did not want Kamala. He was against Kamala. It was a lot going on behind scenes, but I want y'all to remember when Kamala was talking about, when Joe endorsed me and all this other stuff. Like it's a joke how they play with our minds, And so we play this game with them, but he didn't even want. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't even. Obama didn't want to do it, but because they had to play the game with us, we all had to play the game. They had to give us the game. Let me play. This is the guy. Hold on. This is the guy who
author of this book, Fight, and it is a great book. And Jonathan, there was a fight within the Democratic Party about whether or not she was the one. Obama didn't want her, and he wanted an open convention, a little mini convention, and she just short-circuited everything.
She did. There's this incredible moment on the day that Joe Biden decides to get out of the race. He's been getting all this pressure, and he calls her up, and it's been reported, the very broad outlines were reported as he tells her he's getting out. She says, "Are you sure?" He says, "Yes," and that's it.
Right.
There were actually 2 phone calls between them because she had to beg Joe Biden to make a quick endorsement, right?
What?
As soon as he gets out, she's got to get the delegates. She's got to get her whip operation, call all the members of Congress, the governors, whatever. And Biden's like, "I'm getting out. I might endorse you like on Thursday, like a few days later. I want to take a victory lap,
Sure.
soak in my moment." And she's like, "Joe, you have got to endorse me." So they go back and forth on this before Biden does it. Obama definitely did not think she should be the Democratic nominee.
He would not endorse that day either.
He would not endorse that day either. She talked to him. He said to her, "I don't want to put my thumb on the scale." She was disappointed, but not necessarily shocked, because he'd been behind the scenes trying to undermine her for the last several weeks before Biden even got out.
And of course, the reason that...
Yep, that part. And a lot of people don't know either that Jill Biden can't stand Kamala Harris.
None of them can stand her. And then, but the thing is, Kamala lied when she said, "Oh, I was sitting at home cooking family dinner, and I cut the phone call, and I was like, oh, Joe, see how fake she was?"
Pissing in the baths while you're making collard greens.
Yeah. Yes, she said she was cooking family dinner, and she got the call, and she had like she was just so shocked and all this stuff, and it wasn't true. It was not true. I'm gonna play another clip. One moment.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on 1 second.
Endorsement.
Hold
now,
on.
this new book also claims former president, giving us an inside look into Biden's team, what they were doing to cover his decline, and how he made Kamala Harris beg for his endorsement. Now, this new book also claims former President Obama secretly didn't want Kamala Harris to get that job. In fact, he waited 5 days to endorse her. And here's the book's author, Jonathan Allen, breaking it all down.
President Obama absolutely did not think that Joe Biden should continue, according to our sources close to President Obama. And he also didn't want Kamala Harris to be the replacement for Biden. He didn't think that she was the best choice for Democrats. And he worked really behind the scenes for a long time to try to have a mini primary or an open convention, or mini primary leading to an open convention. Did not have faith in her ability to win the election. He was really working against her.
So, Ben, I was reading some of these details from a New York Post article, and here's one of the things they say that Allen further revealed on a phone call with the vice president on the day Biden passed the baton to Harris. Obama refused to endorse her candidacy as the nominee. That must have been a pretty awkward phone call to realize the kingmaker of the Democratic Party doesn't want you as the nominee.
Look, it's so funny when you see this now come out. Obama knew that she was a terrible vice president and was going to be a terrible candidate. And by the way, he also knew that Joe Biden was incapacitated, and this was the only option at that moment. Barack Obama might be one of the most brilliant political minds I've ever seen in the Democratic Party. He's very astute to what's going on. He understands talent. He understands electability. He's the best since Bill Clinton. And we were all rooting for it to be Kamala Harris because we thought she was the easiest person to beat. He understood that she was vulnerable. He understood she was not going to be a great candidate. He understood the word salads were a disaster for her. He understood she didn't have an in-depth knowledge of a lot of foreign affairs, and she wasn't going to be good at defending herself. So you combined all that, it's not a good candidate. And I'm sure he's like, guys, we're going to give the White House back to Donald Trump if you guys don't understand how bad she is. So let's have an open convention. And by the way, an open convention is total chaos and anarchy. Yeah. He was so sure that Harris was going to lose that he was willing to say, let's go and just roll the dice at a convention, look out of control and insane, and we might get a better candidate than her. I think he was smart to say it. This book, by the way, is not shocking because everyone else knew it was going to happen too.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Okay. Now, do y'all remember But let me say this, and you could go ahead, Queen. Remember when they said that she got the seat without having a primary? Remember that was the main thing. Nobody got a choice to even elect her. She just put herself in there from what this book is saying. Go ahead, Queen.
No, and you're absolutely right. Like, I don't understand what people's gripe is. I've wondered here in the last few months, like, what if Kamala and Trump's position was different? If she was running Republican and he was running Democrat, like, would you vote for her because she was a black person or a woman? Like, what's the rationale?
Nope, they wouldn't. Not black people. They loyal to the Democratic Party.
They wouldn't know.
We the only fools to do that.
Because that's what we keep hearing right now. Is
Republicans wouldn't have her. As even Obama didn't want her. Joe Biden them didn't want her neither. But once she lost, everybody showed how they felt about her. You see, when she walked into the election, nobody wanted her because nobody, and then so that lets you know that we thought Obama and all them was in with it. Maybe that's why Obama came out the way he came out, telling people to vote and stuff, because he was aggravated, and he was probably speaking in aggravation when he told black men, y'all need to vote for her. You know, it sounds like everybody was aggravated behind closed doors, and she chose to run as the black woman. So that should be another insult, because I also thought, like, what if she would have won? It would have just been worse on us, because the Democrats are bent and determined to give our money away. Even though the Republicans are doing what they're doing, they're not trying to give our money away. The Democrats that's supposed to stand for black people, they make sure, because you see reports coming out left and right, they're making sure that they give our money to everybody but us.
Your girl Jasmine, I know we hate to bring her up, but they using her for the front. But she's the front.
Yeah, they need the black vote again.
Yeah, and she's and all these old. Oh God, I don't get it. Like, she's not gonna run for president. Nobody's not gonna vote for this chick. She's fake as hell. And look, she's about like her and Kamala, like the same, whatever. That's why you're gonna lose, because you the same as her. And like I said, it don't make any sense, because everybody know Kamala Harris didn't have a chance. Like I say, Obama wanted to have a primary. They want to have other people to see they qualified. So that's why he was pissed off and stuff. That's why he came at the last minute, because he had to do it, because what it is, I don't know if you read this part about let me see, Jim Clyburn. So he came to Jim Clyburn because he was trying to get Jim Clyburn to do a primary so they can get other candidates who were qualified for it. Hold on, let me read this little part. President Obama absolutely did not think that Joe Biden should continue, according to our source close to Obama, people in his account. They told Allen, the MSNBC, and he also didn't want Kamala Harris to be replacement for Joe Biden. He didn't think that she was the best choice for the Democrats, and he worked really behind the scenes for a long time to try to have a mini primary or an open convention, or a mini primary leading to an open convention. Did not have faith in her ability to win election. I'm trying to see what they get about Jim Clyburn, but he was trying to work with Jim Clyburn, but Jim Clyburn like, nah, I'm gonna put my support against her, support to her right now, and that pretty much killed what Obama was trying to do behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Because Jim Clyburn got a lot of clout. He an old coon, but he got a lot of clout. In the Democrats, a lot of them old fossils, they follow him. So, after he threw his hat in the ring for her, support her, that was pretty much it. And so Obama had to kind of follow suit, and that's why you had a clusterfuck. I let my plane.
Yeah, I see that Ronald said they handed Trump the election. No, they didn't. It's not even about Trump. We didn't need the Democrats in there, because Trump needed to end what we was doing. Look up the news. Ever since Trump has been in there, the people who have been getting over on America has been losing their lifeline to unlimited cash. Yes, it involves some black people. I'm not saying that everything that Trump is doing is perfect and is going to help us, but it's stopping the underhanded going behind black backs, siphoning money to other countries. Cash Patel just found there was $2.7 trillion being sent for Medicaid and Medicare services overseas. Like, we can't even get dental service. Then they were saying the Social Security, FBA loans, where somebody was getting FBA loans in children names between the ages of 9 and 11.
You mean SBA loans? SBA?
Yes, SBA loans, Small Business Administration loans, and for children between 7 and 11. Not talking about the Social Security, and let's talk about you know, the immigrants. They came over here. They don't get no credit check or nothing. They get to start a life over here, and they were just saying how they just cutting out FHA loans for them. We barely getting it. They keep having us being the workhorse of America. Why? I don't care if you work at McDonald's. When you look at your paycheck, and I've said this many times in many shows, I don't care if they took out $5. If it was 5 million Black people, there's millions of people that work at McDonald's, and that is $5 million. If they took out $5 and it was 5 million people, that's $25 million every month. And that money is not going to our communities. It's not going to Black people. And you don't realize it because we normalize being taxed, that we are paying, we working to pay our bills so that we can take care of the friends and the allies to those who are sitting in office so they can get kickbacks. People who did nothing, our grandparents worked in the field. These people did nothing, and they're getting free benefits, free health care. Their kids are getting school. We take advantage that we just send our kids to school and we think nothing of it. But we don't realize that $5 coming out your paycheck, trace the money. I've always say, trace the money. Where is it going? We just let them take out taxes out of our check, and we don't ask no question. And we think we think individually, think as a group. If it's 1 million of us and they took out $5 a piece, that's $5 million, and that's every week. And that money, and we talking about eggs and stuff. We don't have land. Why does China own more land than the people who worked here? Why come we have immigrants, Jews, Asians, and all them getting reparations? Well, how are they getting reparations? Because you're working at McDonald's, you're working at the hospital. And then if you got a bigger paying job, you're just paying more to other people. All this money that's going out could be helping us and our children, and we deserve it.
No lies detected.
And that's the problem. Like we don't think that we deserve that. Like I'm just saying. I'm gonna be honest. I hate the topic of white proximity, because when it all boils down to it, like the white proximity came from who? Us. So I'm very confused how we trying to keep up with somebody that's been trying to keep up with us, because we don't understand our self-worth as a community, as a culture, as an ethnicity. That is very shameful to me. Like,
sorry, y'all, I didn't put this up earlier, but all the segments that we use it under the Fair Use Act for the purposes of criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, and research. Go ahead.
Y'all, please like and share, because they keep striking us, because I be trying to do the right thing and put some promos up in the music. They be striking. So y'all like and share, please, and support us. Mm-hmm. But I don't understand. Like, so if Queen Kathy has she has a farm, she grows produce or whatever, she's selling that produce, she pays taxes on that, and she sells the Kroger pays taxes on that, and I go shopping, we're paying the same tax on the same dollar. And you worried about why Donald Trump don't pay taxes like that. That's silly. Why do you pay taxes like that? We mad about the wrong things. And that being mad and shit, like, be mad. You still broke. You still screwed. You still fucked. Excuse my language. What you mad about? You not boots on the ground. You're not that mad. You just in your feelings, your emotions.
I'm looking for this video that this girl said that everybody Black in America, there is over 30 something million or something million Blacks. I have to see how many of us real Black people in America. And they were talking about how that's bigger than the population of Ghana, and bigger than the population of different places. And somehow they got us convinced that we the minority. But yet we are the ones that, as we talk about this voting thing, this Democratic Party, whether Obama liked it, Kamala or not, he went with the BS. She ran off of being Black. Biden, he went with it, all because they was trying to get the Black vote. Now pause for a minute. Why were they trying to get the Black vote? Because it's more of you here, and you have more power than which you have been told. If we do not snap out of this sleepiness and this mind gameness, we will keep thinking that we are not that important. We are very, very important. for every job. They don't come, they want us in public school so they can continue to teach us to work for them, while they collect enough money and let their friends and allies in. It sickens me to go to the gas station that Black people are not being taught how to get corporations, not just businesses, but how to get corporations, how to get SBA loans. We only know enough math to run their machines and run their businesses as a supervisor. We trying to get be a supervisor, manager. We're trying to get a top position in a corporation, but they're not teaching us to be the corporation. And these people who don't speak a lick of English, your child right now, somewhere right now, a Black woman slapping her child across the head because they're not getting A's in English. Somewhere right now, somebody's struggling in college because we're paying to get college degrees. And in that college degree, we got to take English 101, English 112, English this, math that. And then you got an immigrant that don't give a damn and don't have not one degree come over here and they making millions of dollars work owning a gas station and a hotel. And you know that they're teaching themselves how to come over here and get a loan. But yet nowhere in school are they teaching our Black kids how to get an SBA loan or what credit is. We
no
need
lies detected.
Yeah, we need the church to start teaching stuff like that. We need organizations that's out here. Black Panthers too, the woke crowd too. Y'all just as guilty. We are just as guilty. We need our
shit.
to start teaching what is credit, and not these credit people who are saying, "Well, I'm gonna help fix your credit for $5,000 and $6,000."
Exactly.
We need what is credit. We need to stop taking Sunday. We need to take some Sundays and some revivals and revive the mind of the Black people, revive credit and teach Black people what is credit and how to teach these 2-3 people to get together, get some credit and get a business and own some of these gas stations. It's a slap in the face that we are surrounded by gas stations, hair supply stores, hotels, manufacturing companies, and none of them are owned by Black people. I ain't gonna say that some Black people don't own a hair store, but the majority of Black people, when we look at business, they want us to have a daycare, a restaurant, and maybe one of these online things reselling Chinese products.
Check this out. It's a guy up the street. If anybody familiar with Atlanta know a Greenbrier Mall at, Black Mall, and it's up the street. It's a brother. I met him a couple times. I try to support him. He owned a liquor store. Yeah, it's a liquor store. I mean, hell, let's be honest. We grown folks. We drink here. I mean, I ain't said we alcoholics, but we drink time to time. So the brother, I went there to try to support him, and man, he had his daughters. Like he had a picture of his 3 daughters because just to honor them. And I was like, I'm gonna let people know. I put it on Facebook, let people know, around the community. He closed down like in 6 months. Black people support around the corner. The Arabs got a liquor store. They beat out all day. I said that's messed up. Y'all know there was a Black-owned liquor store. You know what I'm saying? But y'all supported the Arabs and the Indians. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that with us. I just don't get it. And like I said
here's
before,
the thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This is just facts. With Black businesses, we do tend to charge more. We put stipulations on things. I know, like here in Indiana, like they started putting like you have to put a deposit down to get your hair done and your nails done. I ain't paying $100 to get my damn nails done. Like my fingers, and I can do my own nails and toes and carrying on. I'm not paying it. But they put a deposit down because people are not committed. You're not trustworthy.
Black people are not committed.
So when you say things like, well, that's why I don't put Black business in it, but we have to work harder. We don't get the business loans. We don't get the locations that we want, so we do have to work harder.
But good question. Good question. That's a good one. So, okay, I understand that. So I said the same thing, but I know Frank Ski had did a video, went live. If y'all know Frank Ski here in Atlanta, he's a DJ, popular DJ in Atlanta. He just talking about all the restaurants, all the Black restaurants he go to in Atlanta. They're expensive. We go to the white ones. They cheaper. But anyway, that's beside the point. I get that. I'm not paying a lot for no drinks, but other stuff, say a Black person got a brand, like a clothing brand, and they charge you $200 for a sweater. Now, I'm not gonna trip because we'll go to Gucci, we'll go to Louis, we'll go to Prada, all that, and spend that money with no problem. Just because we say we got Gucci. So why the Black brand ain't no problem? You know what I'm saying? But I can't do the black brand like that. I'm talking about brands because we don't
because it won't
brands.
impress their friends because we out here trying to shine up our shiny chains. And another thing that black people need to understand is that your prices don't have to be that high, like with the nails and hair. It's just that you want to charge and you want to charge extra price. Yes, sometimes your supplies have to be more because we don't get it. We kind of get secondhand after it done went through the middleman. You know how they say they stomped on your stuff? They give us the stomped on parts and we got to kind of charge a little bit more. But the problem with black people, you're charging so that you can go ahead and quickly live like the white person that you're trying to line up against. If we're in our same situation, now I'm not saying that some people want to be out these worst neighborhoods, but if you already struggling, can you be in the same area and then take time and save up before you just get rich? And then, because I see a lot of content creators, I see people, soon as they make enough money, you automatically see they moving out there where the white people at. A lot of them are not moving on their own land and waiting to build a house. It's the things that they want to do with their money. It's the things that black people, you're trying to get money so that you can go ahead and do like a lot of these dumb black people are doing, is laying out the money and showing all your stacks of cash and stuff, just like the lady in that the little girl and father who was unalived at the car wash, and the mom raised money on the GoFundMe. And I don't care how much she was hurting. I ain't judging them for drinking and stuff. My problem came in is when she took the stacks of money, putting them next to her head like black people do. Money doesn't represent us, but y'all have made money your God. You don't know how to get in a business and buy land. Stop spreading out your money. Sit and buy a plot of land and stand there and spread out and cross your legs, lay on your grass. Show me something impressive, because money can be burned. It can go. But you, like I said, I'm holding the church, black folks, woke folks, anything that involves us.
Everybody
we should be educating ourselves on generational wealth, and it's not to show money online. This is why our young kids are out of hand.
And black people don't know what real power is either. Like I said, they
right.
throwing cash up.
Money is not the power. You got the power. You know how they kick you out the mall? You know how you keep getting kicked out of restaurants? You know how you crying that Trump administration is tearing down the Black Lives Matter, and that they're tearing down this and that. They getting rid of us on the museum. If we had our own shit to go to, you wouldn't worry about that. You see the Montgomery, they got, I forgot what they got at the Lynching Museum and this and that. That was funded with, I think, black money and other people. They made it a business. They can't tear that down. But if you wasn't busy trying to buy Gucci and live on a yachts with your other friend instead of buying a black boat and stuff, and you wouldn't be kicked out of places you don't know power.
And taking the bus to get there. The bus to get there.
And if they don't want you to buy the mall, then you get a strip of land and all the black people come together and make the mall. That's how Black Wall Street was. We keep forgetting what Black Wall Street was and how it was created. We forgetting how we had
Wall Street, though. We have to look at like the then and the now, like, because we can look at our ancestors and like, history, but it's a different time. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to forgiving and letting go and turning over the cheek, like, we are at a different time right now. Like, we need to switch from the Martin Luther King to the Malcolm X mindset. Like, you can get it today. That whole forgiveness thing and turning over the cheek, we got to stop it. Like, if you understand the God in you, like, this is not what's happening. How we're being treated is not godlike. It's not even humane. Right. So, like, what you doing?
Hey, Queen, I know we about to go into a commercial break. I'm gonna play a bit audio once we get back.
I had to play audio because I ain't really got on the commercials. Some of them I had to do. Okay. I'm gonna just play it at the end because we're gonna get up out of here. Yeah, exactly. Just gonna make this a short show. So when you play your audio, go ahead, and then we're gonna go out with this commercial.
I said DJ Black said we said eye for an eye. What you mean, DJ Black? Now on
eye for an eye, like hell. They don't want us in our place. Let's do them. I mean, I'm sick of the police unaliving us. And then the first thing when I heard that somebody shot a police. And they like, oh, they shot a police. Oh, they shot a police. Did the police shoot them? Like, let me know what's happening. Like, we got to start giving out what they giving us, or we not going to get nowhere. They not going to take us serious until we do serious. Until we show blacks only without saying blacks only, they not going to take us serious because they say whites only by showing you that you can't afford it.
Exactly. And I'm going to play the audio. I love that somebody just sent me. I'm glad this person sent it to me while we was on live because a lot of black people. See, this is the thing too. Going back to Obama and the Kamala Harris thing, I tell people it's three different kind of black people. But why Kamala lost this election was it really wasn't. It really wasn't the black people who were Democrats who switched over to Republicans. It was the black grassroots, and they don't want to give the black grassroots their props. That's who really killed her campaign. But let me play this audio real quick. Meet y'all mics. Here we go.
When I first announced my run for Congress, I had this random white woman, liberal, walk up to me and ask, "Well, what about you? Isn't Democrat?" To which I responded, "Well, besides my skin color, what about me is Democrat?" And it was at that very moment that she realized that God gave her enough common sense to ask me about my values. Now, don't get me wrong, I was raised to vote Democrat down the ballot. So when I first started, I would say things like, "I'm a Republican, but I'm not a conservative." But now I know all too well I am a full-fledged, hardcore conservative, and I'm proud of it. I mean, my favorite saying is I was born black, not Democrat. But in all seriousness, whenever I began to think for myself politically, the choice was easy. I mean, why would I want to belong to a party whose mission is to infringe on the Second Amendment as if a criminal would ever participate in something like a mandatory buyback? Why would I want to belong to and endorse a godless party? Because there is no such thing, and I mean no such thing as a trans child. We have confused children and sick enabling adults. Why would I want to belong to a party that takes pride in shedding innocent blood? Number one, as if that's not what God hates. Number two, as if there's not a black market for baby organs. And number three, as if abortion clinics didn't start in the hood. Because if you think Trump is bad, you should research exactly who Margaret Sanger was. But speaking of the black community, why would I want to belong to a party who's responsible for the foundation of the Triple K? But it's not just that. Supposedly in the 1900s, the party switched, right? But what never changed, what I noticed never changed, is Democrats' love for immigration and how they have always prioritized that over the black community. I mean, imagine every single Democrat leader helping you joke about what a black job is in 2024, exposing your ignorance on 1924 and how imperative the Immigration Act of that year was, how it was all reversed in 1965 with the Hart-Celler Act, how Congress refuses the advice of the Rockefeller Commission and the Hesburgh Commission, and how to this day they refuse to adopt the Barbara Jordan Blueprint, validating every single thing that Dr. Claude Anderson spoke of generally, but specifically what Mrs. King spoke of in 1991 with her letter to Congress. Now, look, I'm not saying that the Republican Party is perfect. No, nobody's perfect. What I'm saying is I saw with Malcolm X when he said that the liberals were the worst thing that could ever happen to the Western Hemisphere, but y'all ignore that, just like how y'all ignore LBJ saying, and I quote, "I'm going to have Negroes voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and by God, 60 years later, I see no sign of recourse, but rest assured your vote is your voice, even if..."
Yeah, that part. Yeah. Can y'all hear that? Uh-oh, what happened? Okay.
Yeah, we hear it. Yes.
Yeah, that was deep. She was at, and even some people even said that what LBJ, he said it. It said he did say that, but it didn't say it like that. But he did say it. It might have been a little different, but he still said black people still be, because I went and did research on it because I want to make sure we had the facts. But yeah, he did pretty much say, yeah, once we sign this bill, black people gonna be loyal to the Democratic Party, because he didn't give a damn about no black people, straight up. So, but yeah, she right, man. That what black people going now. See, it's a black woman. They always talk about black women support Democrats. Nah, there's a lot of black women like y'all sisters in here who don't rock with the party like that. You know what I'm saying? So they act like the black woman is the backbone of the Democratic Party she used to be. And they're hoping that Jasmine Crockett will be their savior,
Yeah,
but that's not going to happen.
That's what's been happening. That's how Kamala got in there. Like nobody wanted Kamala Harris in, what was it, 2016? Like she couldn't even make it past the primary. So she wound up being vice president. Like y'all don't see, that's what I'm saying. Like you don't see the slap in the face. Like let's take the black, white, gender thing, the Democrat, Republican thing. Like, where's your common damn sense? Where's your common sense when The View tells people that it's black women's fault or black men's fault that Donald Trump got in? It's stupid white women's fault that Donald Trump it's everybody's fault. Where is the accountability? If everybody on this panel right now ran for office without any kind of party affiliation, who would you rock with? Like we're so programmed and so enslaved. And it's not a black-white thing. And I hate that shit because there's all kinds of ethnicities. Black, white isn't even an ethnicity. It's a status. So again, when we talk about being, what's it called, in proximity to white, like they've strived to be like us, and now we've fallen suit to that shit. It doesn't even make sense. The math is not mathing. 1 + 1 is 2. How many freaking fingers do you need? We're making it so complicated. Like, why don't we want the when it comes to true Black power? It's a mindset, not a movement. And it begins and ends in the Black mind. Stop letting everybody else tell you who you are and who you're not. The lies you do tell. That is so shameful.
Boom.
Darn Jasmine Crockett.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to pull a potty mouth.
I wanted to correct something. A lot of Black
people
are truck drivers, but yet we're not owning the merchandise that we're shipping to. The truck companies, and a lot of Black people go get their CDLs, and a lot of Black people drive trucks. But we need to get more involved, because when we need something, we go to their grocery stores. When we need our hair done, we go to their stuff. When we need clothes, we go to them. Even if we don't even make it, and they make it across seas because their pockets are being padded by our politicians, where they won't even sell us the materials so that we can make our own brands. Or sometimes we're being gypped. So I just wanted to add that in, that we have to start thinking a different way as Black people when it come down to our money.
And we about to get out of here, but we need to get into logistics too, like supply chains. We can start off small. It's a lot of small. So that was the thing, the business I worked in for years, and I understand how it works. I worked for a lot of smaller companies back in the days. Like, these like white people come up with these. A family come up, but they get smaller buildings, and they like distributing tissue, paper towels, sanitizer, all that stuff. We could do the same thing. But a lot of Black people got a lot of knowledge in that supply chain and logistic field, but we just don't, come together and try to make it happen. I think here in Atlanta, you got a Black paper towel company here, and they do tissue and stuff, but we just need it more like in other states and stuff. We just
they need to use some of that money and do mass marketing, like these white people. I mean, if you're gonna be like them, they mass market. They make sure they get in your faces and in your spaces. We need to start protesting with a lot of these Indian people and these Arabs in our gas stations and hotels, and then when we come in the store, they treat us like shit or look at us like we the problem.
And we need Black lobbyists
but
too.
We keep going back there, though. We keep going back there.
But because they have everything we need. We ain't got no choice.
But we won't share. But nobody, we won't share on this platform. Can y'all all share? Can you like, subscribe? Can you share it somewhere?
Exactly.
Like, can you do that? Like, that's a start. You won't even do that, though. And you want to hook up.
Fact.
This is on us. And we don't want to hold each other accountable. Like, I don't give a shit what nobody else is doing. Like, what are we doing?
Just now, talking about Obama running for a third term. They like, if Trump did, Obama could do. But what have Obama did for us? We need politicians that's for us, and we need to start being selfish for a change.
He's the first Black president. Who?
Lies.
You know what? Now I just seen this pop up on my Facebook. This group, my man, Black owned, whatever. They made a bunch of Democrat shields. They got a thing saying that on April the 5th they're probably doing that little protest thing, but on April the 7th, I guess Black people supposed to Black people and other people supposed to be boycotting Walmart. Good luck with that. I guarantee you.
Why don't they take the time, instead of arguing with Trump? Why don't they take the time like Jasmine Crockett? She's not writing legislation. That's her job. Congress' job is to write legislation, to write bills, to sign into law. Why don't when the Democrats had the House, they wrote legislation, they wrote bills to sign Asian protection and stuff. We need to understand how the government wrote. I don't care who's president. It don't matter if Trump is president or if Kamala was president. Who is writing legislation to change things for Black people? And that's what we need to understand. None of them. They complaining about Trump. Write legislation and show me bills that y'all are putting before him that he's refusing to sign or refusing to help. Other than that, they don't tell the Democrats can't tell me nothing, because y'all had a chance to help Black people and you didn't. So I'm going to sit back and watch America get its karma.
Yeah, right. Hashtag let Rome fall, and that's how the cookie crumbles.
And we're going to get up out of here. Do y'all have anything else to say? Mind Games, tell them about before your because I'm gonna play your just go last. Your commercial for your
for the minute documentary. My check out the minute documentary We Control You on YouTube. Go subscribe to my channel. and put in a search bar. We control you, and just check it out. It's pretty much about how the society control the way we think, the way we move, and it's a 24-minute documentary. And just check it out, y'all. They're everywhere.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble trying to plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And
yes, because that's exactly why we don't understand what's going on there. The media is confusing us. They're controlling our thoughts, and then they don't allow us room for common sense. Just see what's around you. When you go out your store, why do you have to get your gas from an immigrant who doesn't speak English, but your child is getting an F if they don't know English? And we pick at each other because we're not writing words correctly on social media. That's why I write in all caps, because I don't give a damn, and because you're not going to confine me to something that is written when I'm walking out my door, and then the people who serve me can't even speak English. When the Chinese people don't even have to advertise Chinese food, but they got the #1 restaurant that everybody flocks to. When I have to go get my food, I go to a grocery store filled with white labels, and we got to argue about who's going to put a black product on the shelf. That should, if we all American, it should be as many black products on them shelves as it's white products. So miss me with this American bullshit, and I'm watching it burn. And I lay my plane. Do y'all have anything else to say before we head up out of here?
I think you said,
and y'all not gonna people are not gonna keep referring to black people as racist because you have an opinion about something. Like, just stop that. Like, we know who we are. Like, nobody's trying to be superior. We're trying to make y'all make it make sense. Okay. So
I think we all changing. I think we are. I believe in evolution. I really do, and I believe that a lot of us are evolving into something else. And a lot of us play the victim too. Black people, stop playing the victim. I'm sorry, a lot of us do. It don't work anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's time to move to the next.
Some of us is not playing the victim, but yes, the problem is a lot of black people are playing the victim instead of standing up on. And we are victims of white supremacy, but we need to stop playing victim and start playing recovered victim.
I agree. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody gonna help us but ourselves.
That's exactly.
It. Yeah. And don't be mad about that. Like, that's super cool. Like, you have the power to do that. Like, so stop being mad about that because you have to tie up your bootstraps or whatever the hell they say. Like, tie them motherfuckers up. Like,
and that's the solution, y'all.
You'll put your foot on somebody's neck. Stop being so sensitive.
And that's the solution. That's what makes us different from the other people. We come up with solutions. That's a solution.
Realistic solutions. Get it for y'all and buy a plot of land. Just buy that land and hold it. You might have to stand on it when they buy up everything around you. You could put a gas station on. You could put something on. You don't know. Right now we're learning, and that's what we're not afraid to say, is that we don't have all the answers. But stop looking for somebody to be your guide. Stop looking for another man to give you all the answers.
Yes, and when you get discouraged, just say to yourself in discouragement, never would have made it.
Close them doors, Usher.
Close them doors.
And we out. Peace.
Peace.